the sector.
Are there working?
Into the sector.
I don't want us to create the impression that the only thing NNPCL does is to manage refineries.
No,
that's
not major. Yes, that's not in dispute. But what is important? What is important?
Barrister, it's not their major. That is downstream operations.
Whether downstream, whether upstream. What is important and what I agree with Barrister is that the system is dead. It's redundant.
No,
and more money is being invested into that system. Exactly. He is clamoring and he's saying that the missing money, they should provide that money. It is right. It is constitutional right.
Gentlemen,
it is right. It is your right. It is our collective right.
So
it's not the one-way traffic.
My point.
Is what the money not missing from there?
Barrister, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Don't people are trying to twist this conversation. My intervention was that Barrister wanted that Agomo wanted to reduce NNPCL to the refineries. And my position is no. They do a lot more than refining products.
I agree with your point. I agree with your point. But let us concentrate and demand from them.
Yes. Subsidiary companies, they are not irrelevant to Nigeria because they are not our cash cow. Those subsidiaries you are mentioning, they are not our cash cow, Mr. Okoro. Those ones are not relevant to the Nigerian economy. We are talking of their core mandates. Are they fulfilling it? The answer is capital no. So what defense do you have here?
Barrister, I'm not trying to put up any defense. I don't speak for NNPCL, but I'm just trying to make a correction here.
Yes, I agree with your correction.
We've all made our points.
Yes.
So it's up to the viewers to take what they want to take from it. Now let's go to
the money came from there, 210 trillion.
Okay, so therefore means that indirectly they are working for the money.
Look at the way Barrister is contradicting himself.
Yes, therefore means that they are working.
And we are not seeing the result.
And you said that the major work they do is the refinery. So where did they get the 210 trillion from?
So when they bring that money, they will not tell us. They break it down for us.
Okay, since the refineries are not working according to you, and that it's only the refineries that constitutes the bulk of their job, they can as well tell you, well, since the refineries are not working, then there is no 210 trillion missing.
No.
No.
Money is
the audit.
It's already in the pocket.
Oh, so what are you telling me?
It's not a hidden fact.
No, I'm responding to Barrister's argument.
Let's go to some other headlines here. So, yes, we talked about this earlier in the day. IPOB Kano cancel Monday sit-at-home order. All right, if you want to react to it, you may go ahead and react. Outcry grows over e-transmission ahead of Senate emergency session. I think we've talked about this already earlier in the day, but if you have more reactions, I think Mr. Kuro might have a few things to add. He just might go ahead to add that. And also, we have another headline here. SAN ranked under scrutiny as AGF, CJN warn against abuse of influence. Of course, those... Yes, the riders to that one. Oh, that's I have the men here. This is their forte. So, senior lawyers divided over bribery allegations against judges. Fagbemi tasks senior lawyers on discipline. Junior lawyers against disrespect. All right. So, gentlemen.
Is that the one you wanted me to react?
No.
Okay.
I wanted you to react to it.
Yes, for me, I think that the legal profession is a profession that is built on respect. And this respect we're talking about is that there's seniority at the bar. You must respect your senior at the bar. If I'm called to the bar in the morning, 9 a.m., and then you are called by 4 p.m. the same day, who is the senior? Is the person earlier that's the senior, the other person. So there is seniority at the bar. You must respect your senior. Setting is part and parcel of the profession for decades. And then on the second leg, on the issue of corruption, it's not in dispute because I have to say it openly. It's not in dispute that there have been a series of allegations against senior members of the bar, which are the senior advocates, and then equally allegations of corruption against the judiciary, which is the bench, most of the judges. But in any event, we have been saying it and will continue to say it. The judiciary is supposed to be the last hope of the common man. If the judiciary is now marked with corruption, where do you expect the common man to go? People will now go and cash out justice. Justice is not a one-way traffic something. It's about three-way traffic something. It's for you and I, it's for the government, and then it's for the victim of the offender per se. So whether we like it or not, justice must be seen to have been done. When people are now buying justice, we go and bribe the system to get justice. Is that what you brand as justice? It's failure. It's a pure case of corruption. And that is why some of us are clamoring for a collective responsibility in the system, and then a change of mind by the bench. That's my little take on the issue on the judiciary.
All right. Then.
And I think it's about time people start taking exams for sanship. It's no longer about your how many appearances you have at the Supreme Court or how many landmark cases you have won and all that. There should be examination for sanship. If you pass it, you become a san. It's not enough for you to have worked in a big chamber, and then because of the influence of the principal, they will now put your name, and you become a san. I mean, it is denying a lot of people the opportunity and the chances, because when you are a san, in fact, it is assumed that you are up there. You know everything about law and all that. That is the meaning. And so there should be examination now, so that we know actually whether yes, you actually qualify for this thing, or they just appointed you because you are connected with somebody and all that. That is my take on this matter.
Okay, I'd like to speak briefly about it because I'm interested in it. As a matter of fact, but I'll speak to another angle that you raised, the issue of judges being bribed. But because before I talk to that about that, some of the ways some senior advocates are appointed is that, from my understanding, you see why it is very easy for some states, the Attorney General, the moment they finish serving, they become senior advocate of Nigeria, is because, especially during this time of electoral these things, when there's litigation, at the tribunal that gets up to the Supreme Court, it is normally, even if the Attorney General is not the principal person making the submission and all of that, I think his name appears first, as the team lead. And when it gets to Supreme Court, some of the times appearance and number of cases won at the Supreme Court level also enables the qualification for the person to become a senior advocate of Nigeria. I think I'm right on that, because you must have practiced law for a certain number of years. You must have also made appearances or won cases at the Supreme Court level for a certain number of times to be able to qualify for sanship. Now, that said, talking about the issue of judges taking bribe, judges take bribe. I'll go back to 2014. I experienced it live. Yemi Oshibanjo then, was the running mate to Buhari. And when they called the Lagos business community somewhere in Victoria Land, one hall, for interactions, and Yemi was asked, what did you do as Attorney General, to ensure that the cases of bribery and corruption in Lagos judiciary went down? He said, when he became the Attorney General of Lagos State, he commissioned a study, and he discovered that there was bribery and corruption. What led to it? Judges' welfare was very low. Their remunerations was very low. Protection was very low. So judges naturally need to, go the extra mile to take care of themselves. And now when they scaled, increased salaries, build houses for judges, and gave vehicles, police protection and all of that, before he left office, and in his first term, they went back. Lawyers were the responders and asked lawyers. Lawyers say that the thing has reduced drastically to about 10% or more. So it speaks to how judges, and judicial officers are open to bribery and corruption, maybe because of the welfare issue. And it speaks to what will happen in the larger society. Some people in government take bribe because they are not guaranteed of tomorrow. If you fall sick, you don't have a guarantee that the state will take care of you, that the health system will take care of you. If your children are sent out of school, you are not guaranteed, except to provide the money. So if the state provides all of these things, the level of corruption in society will simply go down. So people naturally, take to bribery and corruption because they want to protect their tomorrow. So apart from the judiciary, every other sector of society needs to be taken care of. Because, when you have good hospital, good home, good school, good accommodation, what will you do? Use the money for? And just keep it in your bank. It doesn't make sense. So it is the responsibility of government to ensure that the basic needs of human beings in this country, citizens, are provided. That is one way we can also start fighting corruption.
But then, your duty to your country is first, before your welfare. Your duty to your country. That is what should be uppermost on your mind, because we know of Justice Oputa, Charlie Boy's father. throughout his legal career until he died, I didn't hear one single scandal against that man.
How many of them can you mention?
That was just when these are judges. We can.
First, you are talking about an example now.
So I mean, those people, why were they not after money and all that? And look at their sets. No government can bully them and all that. They had respect. So the moment the people like we can start patronizing you and all that, you are reducing your influence and everything. So it is left for them now to decide. Do you sacrifice your integrity on the altar of pecuniary things? That's the question.
Yes, I agree with Barrister because you are an oath as a judge.
Exactly.
To protect the integrity of the judiciary.
Exactly.
So if you start prognosing, if you start looking at whether you are well remunerated
I
or
think
not, because it's your choice to whether go and practice outside.
Or you go outside.
Or you go outside and do business. The law allows you to do business and then abandon the legal
Both of you are just speaking English. When you finish speaking the English, you come back to the reality.
Reality exists.
Good,
But the
exactly.
fact that the judiciary is the last hope of the common man, let us not give these people the impression like you need to be well remunerated before you do justice. No, it will sound an ugly. And what is your definition of well remunerated?
I wonder.
What is your definition?
You
live in accordance with what you can give. That is how life is all about. You cannot be paying rent on the mainland and then you take your kids to go to school at Victoria Island. Is that what you describe as well remunerated? You must live according to your standard. That is my own definition of your remuneration earning and then your spending. You must live in line with what you are spending. You can't go outside what you have.
Okay. Is that right?
The law is setting. Remember the days what? In Kakaswa.
No problem.
You can't be a judge
on your own matter.
So you cannot determine what is remuneration in line with what the government is paying you. You have to live in accordance with what is reality. I know in reality it does exist. But however,
say that again in Latin.
Yeah. Don't tell them. It's against the profession.
You can't be a judge in your own case. So you cannot determine. You can't make decisions as to what.
Barrister, you can't stop
right
us now.
And every other thing.
Agomo, you can't stop us. Even
you are not expected to.
Even if Ata didn't say it, I will have said I have a diploma in Latin language. I speak Latin. I can interpret Latin.
You have started now. You have started.
No, honestly.
What is Adi Oteron pattern?
Well, I'm not under interrogation.
What is
You listen to the other party.
I'm not under interrogation. I'm at liberty to say yes or no.
Let's go to the Vanguard newspaper, and I would like us to interrogate the window headline here. It says manufacturers record 1.8 trillion naira on sold goods as demand slumps. Inventory surge contradicts official claims of economic recovery. Raw materials up 15.4% to 1.5 trillion naira. Nigeria's industrialization effort weakened. That's according to CPPE. CPPE CEO. Rising costs, weak demand, squeeze firms. CIS president. Gentlemen.
Is it not obvious? When you are purchasing
1.8 trillion naira on sold goods.
Of course. If you go to the warehouse, most goods are there. By the time they even manage to bring them out, they would have expired. Yes. The purchasing power has been weakened. Who has the money to buy what? With 100 and how many? They say it will get to 60 now, Abi, this year. Embarrassingly poor. So where is the money to buy anything now? Where is the money? You know, when government put up these statistics, they bamboozle the gullible. But the reality is out there. The reality is out there. They should start living in denial. This one that they are telling us the economy is broken. Where is the economy? With 5,000 megawatts of electricity that is not even stable. 5,000. Where will you now industrialize? What will you industrialize with? Is it not electricity? 5,000. Look, just imagine that in this age and time. You are struggling with 5,000 megawatts. When some people have light, they believe that the light is all over. No, when you have light, Moses, just have it at the back of your mind that somebody is suffering because of the light you are using. Because that's what they do. When they collect from another section of the country, they will shift it to another section. And when they give you light for maybe a day or two, they will take it to the other place. That is how we have been rationing light in Nigeria. There is no time anybody in Nigeria will have 24 hours of electricity. It can never happen with
we are selling to
with 5,000
neighbors.
Who are even owing us? Who are even owing us?
Who are also?
I said something is wrong with us here in this country. No, I am thinking that somebody will come and do spiritual examination to know the witches and wizards that refuse to let us move forward. Whenever you look at Nigeria's situation, you begin to wonder, what is wrong with us? We have seen the problem, we know the problem, but solve it no way. No way. In this age and time, you can't have light. Look at South Africa. Look at Egypt. In fact, I can't even begin to imagine with 200 million people. We have nothing to boast of in this age and time. Nothing.
I think corruption is a major drive, and then people benefiting from the system. And that is what the immediate president said. What's his name? President Muhammadu Buhari. He said that it's either you kill corruption or corruption will kill you.
That was when he was outside.
Even when he was inside.
I'm not interested in his person by that statement. I'm interested in the content of that statement in line with what we're experiencing now. I don't want to talk about him because he himself is a failure. He came and promised us heaven and earth. He's going to build refinery. He's going to build the health sector. But look at how he died outside the country. I don't want to.
He built one refinery. He couldn't manage it.
Well, can you say this? He built refinery, or
he was the chairman?
He's refurbished, and then kind of a cake or something.
Okay, I'm talking of the one in Niger, Abi, where his cousins are staying. Okay.
So I don't want to delve into that. You see, I agree with what Barrister is saying as to the fact that the system has failed us woefully. Look at recently, the government came and then the government said, "Oh, give prepaid meter free to Nigerians." And then some set of people came, a company came and countered the federal government. You can even see that the government is no longer government. A government will make a pronouncement, and how dare you, as a corporate entity or as an individual, how dare you counter the position of the government?
And the government will surrender.
Yes, because the government have what is it called? Connive with them to. It's a matter of conspiracy. When two of them connive together, you don't get result anymore. And that is why people don't even respect the government anytime they make pronouncements. Because these people, they themselves, they have failed the system. And that is why what we are saying today is a matter of
I remember what Mr. Adelabu told us when he started this band A, band B, band C. He said that with it now, the the power sector will now be competitive, that a foreign investor will now come in and there will be competition. And that was how he jacked up the tariff. Up to today, we have not seen the dividends.
The tariff is going up on a daily basis.
It's going up.
It's going up on a daily basis.
That's the most annoying part.
So
because
and the government is aware. The government is aware.
Not told anymore.
And that's a breach. That's a breach of our rights.
It's only when you go and
because the right of what is it called?
You notice it.
Electricity consumers is that they must give you notice, assuming they want to make increase.
You just realize that you load a certain amount and it gives you a lesser.
Yes. That's when you will know. Their receipt fade away under 1 week. So you can't even challenge the company.
All you need to do is to scan it. It's important.
They are not alone. Even telcos increase their call rates without notice.
And you see, that's
just discover that you are paying
that's where consumer rights is not well taken care of in this part of the world. Because we have a body that oversees and regulates. There's even a law.
But if you don't report, how will they now take action?
Why are we silent?
They do it because they know that we don't report.
Yes. I mean, who cares?
Even when you report, nothing is done.
No, if you report and follow through, something is done.
No, it has to be collective.
Then the point is that we don't normally follow through. We don't normally follow through. And when you report and you go there once, twice and come back, even people will tell you, guy, leave this thing. And only you.
I'm telling you. Especially if the money is small. They will tell you, all this money you are wasting, They are taking advantage of us, seriously. Yes. We don't have a structured society.
All right, Barrister, let's move over to.
I'm very optimistic Barrister is going to lead the team that will lead the protest. The concerned office. Okay. Yes. I'm very optimistic for consumer rights as it relates to electricity consumers in Nigeria.
I like your
Telcom. So, yes,
you mean the barristers?
Yes, no, he himself. He himself will lead the sport.
Okay.
I'm ready to support him as a subject.
You are very correct.
Yes. He's so passionate and concerned about and then the drive and then the way he speaks and everything. So let him lead the squad.
Now that
hit the ground, let him hit the ground running.
You are very correct. Not in Lagos State.
Okay.
Not in Lagos State.
Let's move over to the Vanguard. On the front page, 2027 polls. How 3 Southern senators blocked real-time results transmission. Sources. Senate bows to pressure to hold emergency sitting tomorrow instead of February 24. Delay in Electoral Act amendment. Says judicial interpretation is key to credible polls. Transmission of results, no election. That's what the NLC is saying. Still on the front page of the Vanguard, Kanu orders cancellation of Monday seat at home. Manufacturers record 1.8 trillion.
All right, before we go to that one, Mr. Agomo, let's talk about yes, I think we touched on it during the morning show. We touched on it briefly, that information, cancellation. There was even a video of another faction also giving their own statements, and they were really derogatory in some of the things they said to the governor, you know.
Yeah, exactly,
But the more powerful faction of IPOB, or that's the IPOB, have said, look, it's over. Is this, some have said it is bowing to pressure. Soludo put pressure, or, you know, or it's just, it was just overdue.
Look, I have always been consistent on this matter that there is no need for sit at home. Because Nnamdi Kanu have said it before now that, look, he doesn't want it. And so I don't like people using his name to perpetrate evil. I'm telling you, most people who were speaking out of emotional outbursts, show me the law, you don't have the right to close my shop. I said, look, government established that market. So why should you shut it down? You know, eventually, Nnamdi Kanu, I'm sure he had some of us. And he reasoned very well and said, look, no more sit at home. And so anybody that ventured to try that now should be picked up and be charged to court. Because he has no rights. You have freedom of movement. You have no right to impose your will on others. Do you know the meaning of what these people are doing? A few people gather together and impose their own will on the market, threatening people. If you come out, they will kill you. So who will not do the killing? Is it not you? You threaten people not to come out to do their business. And people outside Anambra, we are supporting it. Meanwhile, all of them in Lagos and Akron, all this way, they open their own market on Monday. Can you just imagine? So I thank God that in fact, God will bless Nnamdi Kanu for his intervention. And bless Chukwuma Soludo for insisting. Not this governor that will say, I don't want to be talked about. I don't want people to come in and this and that. Where will they not talk about you? If you are doing the right thing, eventually, good sense will prevail. Soludo did the right thing on this particular matter. He did the right thing. And I thank God everybody has fallen in line. So nobody should use IPOB or Nnamdi Kanu again to cause problem in the southeast. That is the truth. We can only make progress in an atmosphere of peace. We are talking of releasing Nnamdi Kanu. So if you are doing all these things now, the federal government, what will happen? How will they be looking at Nnamdi Kanu and what he is requesting for? They will say these people have not repented, though. They are not remorseful. So please, it has come to stay. No more sit at home on Mondays.
All right. Mr. Atta?
Yes, I align myself with what my colleague have said. Is the welcome development. They are now bowing down to pressure and forget about all the videos and all those things you see on the social media. The government will go after them very soon. The government is going to arrest them. It's just a matter of time.
Exactly.
We are similar of them in the north, and then they are infiltrating other parts of the federation right now. But however, the government needs to be firm as to their position.
Yes.
The law is clear. Like he said, it's the government that built that market. So the government have the power to revoke your license. You are just there as a licensee. So if you are not interested in running the market, the government is losing money because they need to pay tax. People are equally losing on a daily basis. because you lock the market permanently. So for me, I think that it's a welcome development in the East, and then the peace is the utmost priority of government. Let them wake up, and then, but however, some people have lost interest. Some people are now used to sit at home on Monday. I will tell you the open truth, because a friend of mine called me yesterday. He said he's not happy that after he goes to market on Saturday, Sundays he go for his service and all of that things. And even on Mondays now, he's used to rest at home and everything. That he's not happy that they are calling
he
for
can
him
choose to stay home.
Yes,
people chose to stay home and they say you must not stay.
No, because it's the closure of the entire market that is of paramount importance. If there are few shops that are closed, then it's fine. But how will you now come and shut if you are not interested in running? Because if you are not losing money, the state is losing money. Some other people are losing money.
An individual that feels it's a day to rest can choose to rest. Let others go and work.
Yes. And the government is saying, if you are not ready to work, if you are not ready to come and open the market, I will open it, because I'm the head lessor. I lease this property out, because all lands, the government is there to hold all
landlord,
lands
the government is the landlord
for everybody. That is why the government is the head lessor under land law, and then under equity and trust. So whether you like it or not, the government is now saying, I want that market reopen forthwith. And they are beginning to think in line with what is involved.
We'll reach out to our correspondents. I think last Monday we saw people come out at about 2 p.m. But today we'll reach out to our correspondents.
It's a gradual process. If they can come out by 2 p.m. There's every possibility. But however, it's not one-way traffic. It's not enough for the government to put pressure on them. It is also important for the government to provide an enabling atmosphere, life and properties, because these people. They are rights equally. When you talk about one, you talk about number two, and then number three. It is equally their right to decide to stay back at home. And in as much as the government is putting pressure on them, my point is certain. It's good that they have considered to go back to the market. But however, the government must provide enough security for them, because this other group, they are very deadly, and then they can strike at any time. Nobody will give you notice. Look at what happened in Kwara State recently. Wherein they killed about 100 and something people without notice. Nobody is going to give you notice before they strike.
Anyway, my happiness is that we don't have such terror group in Southeast.
But however, these people are equally killing. They are killing these people, and that's why people are afraid of coming out.
Their own is guerrilla warfare, hit and run.
And so you see my point. So the government needs to provide enough security.
All right, let's take another headline here.
Federal government's oil production data casts doubts over 2M PBD 2026 targets.
Now, how much of this will affect the budget? Let me take that again. FG's oil production data cast doubt over 2 MBPD 2026 targets. All right, and that's from page 26 of the Vanguard
2 million barrels.
Yes. How much of that do you think will?
It will affect the budget, because even at that, some of this our oil production, it has been outsourced already. We are paying debt with this oil production. I hope you are aware. And so it will affect your budget. There's no two ways about it. And that is why whenever the government is reading out these statistics on a good economy, a blossoming economy, I say, how? Where are the statistics? Where is the money? You are not making any progress in your oil production or even in your industrial production. So where will the money come from? You are now dependent on borrowing money. Do you finance your way out of poverty with borrowing? It's not possible now. So it will affect the budget. That means this year's budget, 2026, but remember that 2025, 70% has been rolled over into 2026. That means by the time you finish the 70%, there is the tendency that 2026 may even start towards the ending of the year. And then a large chunk will enter into 2027 because there is no production. That is the truth. You use money to finance your budget and you now go borrowing.
Yes, apart from that, I think we have two major sources of financing our budget. One is our oil revenue, our accruals, and the other one is the monies we borrow from outside to support the deficit.
How about taxation that the government wants to involve? Yes, taxation had always been there because from sources. It has always been there. Look at Lagos government. Only God knows their internal this thing. There was even a time the federal government refused to pay. Yes, then when the current president was on board.
Okay, their local government revenues.
Yes, the revenue also matters.
So it's going to affect it adversely. I don't know our threshold, the benchmark for this year's budget. Last year it was 2.06 million barrels per day, but we hovered between 1.7 1.8. At the time it looked as if we were going to the 2.06, but we didn't actually meet that target. So it's going to affect our budget a whole lot, and so that means people should expect. When they cast doubt, when they are casting doubt, are they telling us that they might not meet it? So if they might not meet it, that means people should expect that we'll borrow more money this year to finance our budget.
And that's why the World Bank have told you that more people are going into poverty.
Exactly.
This year.
That's what it means. We have to borrow more.
Certainly we have to borrow more to finance the deficit aspect of the budget.
So what happens to the concurrent ones we are running?
Where did you talk about
my take is certain. Borrowing to feed the politicians. Or to do what?
I'm telling you.
Meanwhile, now that you mentioned,
because
Ramfak is talking about increasing the salaries of the political office holders.
Mm-hmm. So they have done it. I think they have done it already.
No, I don't.
No, they have not done it. They still at the committee level.
You see, when we are talking at a time where people should be clamoring for part-time legislators. Even part-time, on a part-time basis. You can go back to where you're working. That's how it's done in some European countries. And then we are here now paying humongous amounts of money to people who are consuming. Somebody will go and sit with Babariga and then have a seat on one sitting. Is being paid running to millions. Okay. And then somebody who is well educated, a professor, you look at their salary for the whole of their retirement.
I'm telling you, nothing to write home about.
Well, people say that the professor.
Because the fact that you are lawmakers does not presuppose.
We also have lawmakers who are professors.
Most of the laws that these people made, they set up a committee, subcommittees, professionals are being hired who will do most of the technical and most of the dirty job. And then the lawmakers will just come and do the finishing. Exactly. Those people are they not entitled to be well paid?
I wonder.
Well,
okay, so all right. I'm happy that we got back to the issue of this oil again. So now, Barrister, NNPCL has 15 subsidiaries. Let me name them: the Pipelines and Product Marketing Company (PPMC), National Petroleum Investment Company (NPIC), Nigerian Gas Company Limited. Nigeria is more of a gas nation than even an oil nation. Now we have the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, the one that is into exploration. They drill oil for Nigeria. You have the NNPCL Retail, Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemical, that is just one, and a lot. Okay. There are about 15 of them, and the refineries just are 3.
Mr. Okoro,
yes, sir.
How many of them are active?
Barrister, the fact that the refinery is not active does not. What of Nigerian Gas? Nigerian Gas Company is working. The West African Gas Company is working.
How much is the gas now per liter?
How much are you making from the gas? Have they told you?
The fact that how much is a barrel of oil? What's the dollar rate and how much are we buying fuel?
We're buying at very exorbitant.
So it doesn't mean that we are not making money from oil. The country might
how reflective. What Barrister is saying is certain. How effective the source, the funds from that industry.
Which argument? Barrister, I'm trying to correct you. You are saying argument. NNPCL, they do a lot. They do a lot.
Yes, it's not in dispute that they do a lot. He's not disputing that.
No, he disputed that. No, he disputed that. No, he did. He said the only thing that they do is refine.
They are core mandates.
He's talking about the core mandates.
Okay, so he has recanted.
If these companies were as active as Aramco in Saudi Arabia, we would not be where we are today. You know that.
You agree with him on that point.
I've never been in doubt.
It's not enough as to whether they are subsidiaries or not.
No, that was the point of argument. No, that was the point of argument. No, that was the point of argument. That was the point of argument. That was the point of argument.
Are you bringing dividends?
One thing is
talking about gas. There's this headline here, but I'm trying to look for where the story actually is. In the Guardian, it says new twist in Nigeria's fuel story. Dangote imports gasoline. S&P Global.
Dangote is taking over everything from them.
Imports gasoline. He's importing gasoline.
You see it? So what's your take about that?
They are not giving him enough crude.
Yes.
He has complained now. He's buying from US.
And that is going to have effects on the price.
He's buying from US. He's buying from US.
And recently, is it this month that increment of about 100 or 150 thereabouts? So in liter.
As long as this NNPC, a regulator cannot be a player in the same industry, and we expect progress, it can never happen. NNPC should have been like NCC, this communication regulator. They don't have any network they are managing.
But they see oversee.
That's what I'm saying. They are just a regulator. They monitor Airtel, Global, whatever, Glo and MTN. You don't see any CC running any network. It will be, they will compromise their standard and their policy. But this NNPC is into this business. That's the problem.
Yes, I agree with your points.
That's the problem.
Is part and parcel of the national problem. They are not supporting the system. Look at how they are making it so frustrating for Dangote now.
But that's it.
Because the effect is that it's going to bounce back on you and I, and
of course.
And then on every other person. And that is what some of us are clamoring for. Some of us are saying that there should be fairness in the system. It's not you don't just make it
there can't be fairness
in such a way that you frustrate somebody who is trying to help the system. Dangote is trying his best.
My brother,
but the government is frustrating him. He came out recently, is it last year or last month thereabout, where he said that the government is frustrating him. And then somebody has to be laid up of his
Of course. Now, my brother, look at this. OVH bought NNPC, downstream sector.
Yes.
Then Owando now bought OVH. That means Owando now bought OVH and NNPC, downstream sector. Can you imagine pranks these people are playing with us? The other day, just 2 weeks ago, they said the company made over 2 trillion naira profit. And I asked myself, is that company the only oil company in Nigeria? Man, look, the day Nigerians wake up to what is doing them, the day they wake up to what is doing them, I just pray that those people who are behind all this thing will remain in this country. Look at how they trickishly. I was imagining how a small company called OVH will buy an entire downstream sector of NNPC. Can you imagine? That is all their station, everything,
Nationwide.
Then behind them, Ondo now bought OVH. So that he doesn't want to come direct and buy NNPC. Oh, God Almighty. And who is behind Ondo?
Okay, I know we're running out of time, but let's just get a quick reaction to this headline. Tinubu to visit Kebbi for infrastructural renewal. So, Governor Nasir Idris has disclosed that President Bola Tinubu will attend the Agungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival, holding from February 11 to 14. Yes. So
you see, that's the point. That's my point. I said this earlier.
What's your point, actually?
Mr. President is not concerned about life and properties.
He's going out fishing.
He's going out forum shopping, where he can adopt his policy and then his campaign strategy. Even though he's Mr. President, he's supposed to ensure that the provisions of the laws are complied with. Yeah. All those visits you are saying is for the purpose of campaigning, and the law prohibits all this campaign they are doing. There are numbers of days towards election before.
INEC is there.
But INEC is silent.
No, INEC is not silent. INEC has said as long as they don't say vote for during the visits before the stipulated time, it's not an offense.
Look at that. This vote buying that is going all over the place. Which one is worst? Moses, which one is worse now? Vote by all over Nigeria.
So my stand is firm. My stand is firm. I'm not stopping Mr. President from going or proceeding on his visit to Kebbi State. But my point is that he should go to all the places. Kaduna State, Benue State, and then Kwara State, where people, life and properties are being destroyed and then killed on a daily basis. He should go and show concern. You are not the president for the purpose of, you are not the ceremonial president. You are a president that you must show and exhibit that indeed you are concerned about.
You're concerned about the people. Yes, this would be a good place to anchor the conversation because we are absolutely out of time. Thank you very much, Adam Zata Esquire.
Thank you.
Legal practitioner, lawyer. Thank you very much. Also, Mr. Darlington Agumo, lawyer. Thank you very much for your time on the program. Okay. Well, that's it on the show. I am Moses Humphrey. I wish you a beautiful day.
Around Nigeria to bring you interesting political stories.
And I'm Jane Ogoye. See you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture,